Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. We have something interesting to look at here. This is a 3-point locking bar system which is operated from both sides of the door, key from the outside and inside egress or escape lever from the inside, so it complies with fire regulations. This is one of the strongest systems that we have in Australia for external exit doors. They come in a left hand and a right hand, and they are available at our lock shop, and I'll leave the link down in the description, so if you want to go ahead and purchase it. Roughly they're between about $800 to $900 for this kit, and we've worked on one today, so I thought it'd be a good idea to actually show you what's actually involved, how it goes together. So that might be interesting if you're servicing one as well.
So just a quick update. So we've got everything back on the door and on this side too. So I'm going to show you, demonstrate how this lock works. To lock it, you push it in, and from this side you can't turn the handle. It's got a little gauge here, looks like a safe lock, and it's also got this on the actual knob. It's got instructions here: left to open, right to close. Stainless steel plate with 6 nuts all the way through, so it's a very strong design. To unlock it, you put the key in like so, and when you turn it, the handle pops out. Now you can drive the lock mechanism. So I'm going to turn it to the open position and to the closed position. And I'll show you this side: open, closed, the top bolt, open, closed, bottom, open, closed. And this is the mechanism here which makes this unique and only an Australian product, because it was designed and built in Australia. Unlocked, locked. So basically what happens is that when the key goes in, this center section pops out and allows the driving of the mechanism. When it's pushed in, this housing prevents this from being rotated, preventing it from driving the mechanism. So it pops out, now it's free to turn, now you're free to drive it. And when you look at it from this direction, you can see how big and chunky that looks. This is all stainless steel, so it's a very good design. From this side here, it comes through on your, very similar to any standard rim cylinder, and it has this spindle drive which operates this unique sort of, I'm not sure what that part's called, but it's very similar to the safes. And then it actually comes through with bolts. So the only real thing missing from this compared to a safe is it doesn't have relockers, which, you know, maybe they'll do that in the future. So this is a 3-point locking installed in 2017, so it's not really that old. ADI security product. That's all their details there. We do sell them on our lock shop as well, so if you're looking for something big and chunky like this, you can fit this to your door. Literally, it's bolted to the door with stainless steel, and stainless steel there as well. So now we're going to put the cover back on, which has the handle for emergency exit, and then it will be right to go. I've sprayed a little bit of liquid grease here, because these are moving parts. That will make it just a little bit nicer. As it is now, the mechanism moves perfectly, no binding, and sounds nice and chunky.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get as much video as I would have liked, but I'd just like to point out how this is fitted to the door, because everybody who's going to be purchasing one or working on one wants to kind of know this. So we've got some torque head or Allen key bolts which are on sex nuts, which go through the door, and they go through the door plate here, 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 and here. From the inside, we have wood screws going into the door here, 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 and here. Okay, after removing the locking bar arms, we simply are left with this plate which is on a diagonal, and you remove these 2 bolts, allowing you to get the cam and to the back of the cylinder. After removing the hub and the diagonal plate, you can see 2 screws here and here. This allows you to get the front cylinder out. So if you're just doing a simple change combo, you can undo these 2 screws. What you will need to do is loosen one off a few turns, then loosen the other one, go backwards and forwards until you can remove the front cylinder. And if you try and remove one screw all the way out, you'll find it will be blocking the plate that it's fitted underneath. So by doing the screws one by one, a few turns, you'll allow you to bring it out from the front. Failing this, you need to remove all the plate, which is highlighted in the step above, and actually will take a little bit longer. So backwards and forwards on the screws is probably the quickest way to get the cylinder out. Okay, so the big question is going to be for any locksmith who comes across this who hasn't worked on one is, what type of cylinder is in that? Can I rekey it? And the truth is, yes, you can rekey it. It's a simple 570 cylinder, 6-pin inline cylinder. The one that we were working on today simply had a C4 cylinder, 6-pin, so it's LW5 keyway, which is actually pickable, and that was a little bit disappointing for such a high security locking mechanism to have a flawed 6-pin cylinder in it. I would have liked to have seen a restricted key or an unpickable cylinder, which would have really complemented the hardware. So for all of those locksmiths out there wondering, can you rekey one? Yes, you can, doing the steps we showed you. The cam on the back of the 570 cylinder is different. Okay, so that can you can reuse the same cam. If you're using multi-lock or MT5, you will need a special cam which is slightly offset, because the cam, I didn't get a photo of it, looks a bit like a leg with a shoe on. Looks like a picture of Italy basically. So you can put your own restricted into it without a problem, and if you're going to use a special restrictor like MT5, you're going to need that special cam. But you can simply replace that cylinder with no problems. You can get it out and without any problems. The problem we had with this particular door while we were servicing it was the plate, which is held on the back of the cylinder, actually came loose, and that allowed the actual whole cylinder to come out in the customer's hand, the whole part that you're looking at now. So use Loctite when removing the plate on the back of this cylinder housing.
Okay, so everything's finished off now. The handle is working properly. You put the key in, you turn it. That's locked. That's unlocked. And that's taken it out, so it's locked for the day. So we'll go open now. Turn the bolts, it's open. From the inside, the escape lever, which is critical if it's a fire exit door, which it is. You can move that, it moves all the bolts. And that's the brand there. So we've cleaned up the bolt system too, which locks in here, here, and here. So now, when the door closes, simply flick this handle, and it's locked. You can hear that, how strong that is. Locked. From the outside, you've got that. This is a fire exit. There should be a sign here, but there's not. So that's okay. The bolt is rubbing slightly on the concrete, but we're not going to adjust that because it'll only shorten the bolt. And that's the ADI locking bar. Now to put the final touch on, what do we have here? Okay. To add extra security, we'll add a little CCTV sticker. Is it alright? Put this one here, warning. Yep, there we go. Frighten people away that it's on camera. Okay, done. Alright. Thanks for watching.